Now let us discuss about perspectives. Okay, perspectives means now as a business analyst we work on initiatives, and how we work on these initiatives is we do business analysis work, and this business analysis work is divided into, let me say, tasks. Basically we do tasks, and while doing tasks we use some techniques as well. Tasks and techniques will be doing it. Okay, our business analysis works are like tasks and techniques, and perspectives gives which category of task and techniques to take in that particular context of that initiative. It is given through a perspective. We will understand through a perspective, right? When we are doing business analysis works is nothing but we perform some tasks, and we perform some through using some techniques. Tasks and techniques will be there. So what sort of tasks and techniques we have to actually orient, that is given through the perspective. And we have 5 perspectives here as defined by BABOK. We have 5 perspectives. The first one is agile perspective. The second one is business intelligence perspective. Third one is information technology perspective. Fourth one is a business architecture perspective, and fifth one is business process management perspective, right? And in that, okay, perspective, each perspective, the structure of the perspective is we will be discussing about the change scope, and we'll be discussing about the business analysis scope, and we'll be discussing about the methodologies, approaches and techniques, and then we'll be discussing about the underlying competencies and impact on knowledge areas. That means these 5 sections we are going to discuss in any perspective. If you take a perspective, we are going to discuss on these 5 sections. One is the change scope, the other one is the business analysis scope, next one is methodologies, approaches and techniques, and then we have underlying competencies and impact on knowledge areas. Like underlying competencies, what underlying competencies will be using here, and knowledge areas, each knowledge area how it will be impacted, we are going to discuss here. And coming to the change scope, okay, in change scope we are going to discuss about the breadth of the change. Okay, now change means the entire, now let me understand, change is nothing but the project. Change is nothing but the project. Okay, please understand, change is nothing but the project. The project scope, we have to understand it. To be very fair, the project scope, you have to understand it. Now in this particular project scope, okay, we need to understand what the breadth of the change, the depth of the change, and the value and the solutions delivered, what values we are going to get, and the what is the solutions being delivered, and the delivery approach, and what are the major assumptions we are going to make. We have to understand in the change scope or the project scope. You got me? So initially what we have to understand is what is this project scope, what is the project scope. You have to understand project is nothing but the change, what change you are going to make. In that particular change, you need to understand the breadth of the change, the depth of the change, and the value which is being delivered and the solutions delivered, the value and the solutions delivered, and the delivery approach, and the major assumptions, what assumptions we make concerning this particular project or concerning this particular change. We are going to understand it. Fine, got it? Now once you have this change scope, okay, once we have this change scope, then we will understand, once you understand the project scope, what is the major change, what is the change you're going to happen, or what is the project you're going to actually address. You understand it first, then you will understand in that particular project what is business analysis. What is business analysis? You need to understand it. For you to understand the business analysis scope, first of all you need to understand the change sponsor. The change sponsor, who is going to sponsor the change and who is responsible for it. The change sponsor you have to understand, and then you have to understand the change targets and the change agents, like who is facilitating this particular change. Mostly the stakeholders are involved there, and where we have to reach the change targets, that is we have to understand concerning the business analysis. And what is the position of a business analyst in this particular change? What is the position of a business analyst in this particular change? You have to understand. And what outputs, what outcomes we will actually bring in through business analysis. That means what work we are going to do concerning this particular project we have to understand here. Got it clear on this? And for us to take up this particular change, what are the methodologies and approaches we are going to take it up? Methodologies means like let me say SDLC methodology. Most of the times the approaches what we are going to do, what techniques we are going to use, that we are going to discuss in methodologies and approaches. And underlying competences for you to enable this particular change, the competences what we have to use or utilize here, we need to understand it. And impact on knowledge areas means this particular perspective, how it has its influence on the 6 knowledge areas. Like these 6 knowledge areas may, what are these impact? 6 knowledge areas, just now we have seen that business analysis, planning and monitoring, then we have illustration and collaboration, then we have requirements life cycle management, and then we have this strategy analysis, then we have this requirements analysis and design definition, and we have this solution evaluation. On the 6 knowledge areas, okay, what will be the impact of this particular perspective, we have to understand it. What is the impact of this particular perspective on each of these knowledge areas, we have to understand it. So that is how we are going to discuss about each perspective. That is how we are going to discuss about this each perspective. Each perspective may, what we have, number one, the change scope, that is the entire project, how it is going to change in the current business process, you are going to understand it. And then the scope of the business analysis work and the role of a business analyst here, and the outcome of a business analyst. The outcome means what work deliverables we have here, we are going to discuss about it. And then the methodologies and approach, like how we are going to make this change, what SDLC are going to follow, what models we are going to follow, what techniques we are going to use here. That is what we are going to discuss in the methodologies and approaches. And underlying competences means what competences we have to utilize here so that we can bring in this particular change and make the business analysis possible, that we will be seeing in the underlying competences. And impact on knowledge areas, on the 6 knowledge areas, what impact because of this change, what impact is going to happen concerning this knowledge areas, here we are going to understand it. Fine, got it. So this is how we are going to make it up. And here, as we have seen, we have 5 perspectives: agile perspective, business intelligence perspective, information technology perspective, business architecture perspective, business process management. Like a business process management perspective, we have 5 perspectives. Now let us discuss about the first perspective, that is the agile perspective. That is the agile perspective, right? Now here, first of all, when you want to discuss about the agile, you need to know the agile manifesto. First of all, we need to understand the agile manifesto. Agile manifesto has 4 main values and 12 principles. You need to understand those 4 main values first. 4 main values of agile manifesto, if you want to understand it, it says that individuals and interactions are preferred over processes and tools. Working software is preferred over comprehensive documentation. Customer collaboration is preferred over contract negotiations. Responding to change is preferred over following a plan. These are the values, 4 main values of agile manifesto. So first of all, you should be very clear about this particular perspective. This agile, this agile 4 main values, if you can understand from their manifesto, we can take it forward. Okay. Now here, this perspective may, we need to understand that agile is just like a philosophy, agility. That means we should respond to change immediately. And here we will go with collaboration, continuous improvements, and the requirements are continuously evolving. And every time a new thing comes up, we have to adapt to it, to the particular change, and then deliver it. So it's like every time your requirements change, the context change, the deliverables change. So you should be open for agility. Agility is the mindset. It is not a methodology. It is a mindset. Agility is a mindset, and it is not a methodology. Okay, it is an mindset. That means we should be open to accept the change. We should be open to collaborate with the customer so that we can bring things forward. Okay, because present day environments, business environments, they are subjected to change, and this change is so rapid that we may seek to changes, or we may face changes for every 3 months, 4 months, like that. That frequency of change has been reduced a lot. Now like frequency has been improved a lot, And previously, let me say some 10 years back, like that, the change used to happen for every 3 years. Now the change is happening for every quarter. The change is going to happen for every quarter. What you want today is not the same thing what you want tomorrow. Tomorrow your thought process changes. So that's the very reason we should dynamically adopt to the changing in requirements, changing in environment, changing in context, and then we have to give the latest. As of now, what is more important, what is there in the market trend, that we have to deliver it, because tomorrow it will change. Tomorrow it will change. We should understand that change is very important, so we have to accept change and adapt to change. Okay, got it? Clear on this? And here, that is what it is like. So here, agility means what we have to what the yesterday what we have developed is not the same thing what we are going to develop today, because the requirements may change. We have to be very flexible, and we have to actually adopt ourselves to the incoming changes, and we have to respond to them in a positive way, and we should continuously improve ourselves, so that we can deliver it valuable software back to the client. And here, business analysis work in agility, like we have to do very rapidly, very quickly, and business analysis task also changes very rapidly here as well. So we should be adapted to this agility. Okay, just give me a second. Here, now let us discuss about the change scope. Okay, change scope means the entire project. Please understand, change is nothing but the project. Okay, we need to understand the scope of this particular change. Okay, and that is the project, how the project is maintained here. It is, if you are aware, in agile we maintain the change in backlogs. You know that product backlog, sprint backlog, like that will be there. So we will be maintaining it through backlogs. Okay, and backlog is continuously reviewed, reprioritized, and refined. That means for every sprint we will be doing it. For every sprint we will be doing it, like we will review it, reprioritize it, and redefine it, so that important user stories can be considered. Okay, and continuous backlog refinement allows teams to meet the evolving needs of the business, right? A project may be suspended or reassessed if a change emerges that significantly impacts the goal and the value. So that may be there as well. So if a major change has happened, then definitely it will that we have to reconsider it, whether we can do it or not, or whether the old project is useful or not. The best example in the pathways, you can see we gave you a change request, second change request. If you adopt it to second change request, then the first code what you have written entirely goes waste. It cannot be used thereafter, right? Got me? So likewise we have to understand it. Okay, and then is, okay, here what we are trying to do is okay, here agile mindset is everything comes afresh, and everything will be considering based on the particular okay, we have to understand it and take it forward. Okay, next is we have to understand the breadth of the change. Breadth of the change means agile approaches may be used for software development projects as well as non-software related changes such as process improvements. In any way we can use this agile. And agile projects may be contained within a single department or span multiple divisions or teams. Okay, and organizations new to agile should focus on continuous improvements, okay, and behavioral changes and incremental improvements to move towards adopting an agile mindset rather than thinking of agile as a methodology. Now here in agility or in agile, what we have to understand is that it is not an methodology for us to take it forward. We should think that it is the agility is a mindset. That means continuously something changes, the environment changes. We should also change our thought process. We should change our approach. We should change our deliverables. like that we should reflect it. That means quickly we have to adapt to it and we have to change ourselves. So that is agility, right? And coming to the depth of the change here, okay, agile practices are often applied to initiatives in which there is a commitment from the customer and active engagement of empowered subject matter experts, that everybody shows interest here, they are going to work on it, then this agile is possible. Okay, the business need or the proposed solution is complex and the business needs are likely to change and are still emerging. Okay, and this agile approach can be used for initiatives that are developing a new solution for the very first time or maintaining and enhancing an existing solution as a part of large program of work in which other elements are developed using agile or another methodology depending on the need. I'll tell you, it is something like where you can use this agile. You can use agile everywhere, anywhere. There is no limitation. You cannot use agile here, you cannot use agile there, like that. It's not there. For any initiative, even at the beginning or in the middle or at the last, anywhere you can use this agile. Okay, and in agile you can do for a part of a project or you can do the entire project, or likewise we can use agile as and when it is required. This agility we can apply it based on the context, situation and time. Okay, that way we can take it forward. And after that, okay, we have this values and solutions delivered. Okay, here in the values and solutions delivered, you see that what is the value it is this agile is going to deliver is okay, we are going to deliver value early. That means within 2 weeks time, maximum like 4 weeks time, we are going to deliver it. And customer collaboration is going to happen, client collaboration is going to happen. That means the client is going to have a complete idea on what is happening here, what is how the progress is being made. We can easily make it up. And then we have this adaptive planning with a focus on continuous improvement. Okay, we can go with an adaptive planning with a focus on continuous improvements. Fine, got it, clear on this? Okay, now so here what exactly happens in this is that we don't plan for the entire project in one go. Okay, whatever we have to do now, only that we will plan, that we will work out, and immediately we seek the feedback, and if anything needs to be changed, we'll change it immediately. That's it. So everything happens exactly in that mode only. Okay, for that particular thing this will happen. Okay, you will not for the entire project you will not actually get everything delivered planned like that. For this particular sprint, generally if you want it, I can tell it in this way. For that particular sprint, we can have our own strategy, we can have our own deliverables, and we can immediately seek the feedback on it. We can understand the value which is created, that within that sprint only we can manage all these things. So you cannot actually take it down, and within that sprint what is the limitations, what we are missing out, everything we can assess it here. Got it, clear on that? Okay, and then we have this delivery approach. Delivery approach means how we are going to make it up. So here we have some models like Scrum, Kanban, Extreme Programming, Crystal, DSDM. So here we can use them. Okay, and this delivery approach, okay, how we are going to make it up is here agile approaches focus on personal interactions, adapting to change, and continuous deliverables of value, continuous delivery of value. This is the focus which will be having it. Okay, and now here you need not actually follow only one of them. It is the combination of any of these approaches, you can also take it forward. It all depends on the project, it all depends on your team members capabilities, and it all depends on the context of the deliverables which they are expecting from us. Based on it, you can choose a suitable one, or you can go with an hybrid model, right? And here if you see assumptions, what assumptions we are going to make on this is that okay, so here assumptions in agile aligns to the values and principles of the agile manifesto. That means we have to take the baseline for agile manifesto. So based on the agile manifesto, we have to take our assumption, we assume from that particular perspective. We welcome change in requirements even late in the development. Anytime they can write a user story, and business problems can be reduced to a set of needs that can be solved through some combination of technology and business process change. And initiatives have highly engaged customers and empowered subject matter experts. Now here, exactly, the client and the client team, the concerning stakeholders, they give 100% towards it. They work together with the technical team, and every day they are in collaboration. They will be understanding the progress what these people are making, and they'll guide the process, and they'll understand, and they actually get the, what we say, deliverables from the scrum team by monitoring the progress every day and by changing it as per the requirements, by interacting with them. All this, that means you should your stakeholders will take that bold step, and they will be investing their time towards this development, and they will also be a part of the deliverability. So it is in that way we will be taking it forward, right? And here what are the other assumptions which I have is something like we can take it to agile manifesto assumptions only. Like team membership is constant, members are not moved to other teams. That means if we start with 8 members, scrum developers, these developers will stay until the entire project is delivered. That new team members will not come and old team members will not leave. Likewise, we have to assume it, because if new team members come, then for them to adopt to this project itself, it will take time. Okay. And then we have to be like here we encourage face-to-face communications. Okay, some distributed teams are there, then we will follow some communication practices, effective communication, like we can go with video conferencing, and we can go with tools where all the team members will be on the same page, like, okay. And we assume that the team members are multi-skilled and can perform more than one role within the team if it is needed. And team members have continuous improvements mindset and accurately deliver value through regular review and feedback. And teams are built across motivated, self-organizing individuals and are empowered. Okay. Now let us try to understand the business analysis scope. Okay. Now business analysis scope may, first of all, we have to understand the change sponsor. Now who is taking up this agile initiative? Okay, the sponsor must be familiar with agile philosophy, mindset, and approaches. And he should spend most of his time in the project, and he should be open to give frequent feedback. And he should understand the use of adaptive planning or predictive planning. And he should believe in that fixed time period for a work, for a small, the fixed time period means the time period will be very small. And for every small deliverable, what value we are going to get, and what is the cost incurred, and what is the need of that particular deliverable, they should understand it. Okay. And the sponsor should understand the product, what is the product under development presently, what is the product is going on, and where they are presently, they should understand it. And provide the team with continuous feedback and adjust the product as the customer needs changes. So we have to adopt to this particular change, right? And then we have the change agent. Change agent, who is responsible to make this change? We have the agile team leader, then we have the product owner or the scrum in scrum, or the customer representative in XP, and the team members who actually work on it, and the domain experts are as well. And external stakeholders, also the team may be interested, and they will also give some inputs here. Okay. And business analysis or business analyst position, what exactly we are going to do in this agile. Okay. The preference of cross-skilled team members on agile team means the teams may have one or more individuals with business analysis skills performing those activities, and team members may or may not have the title of business analyst. Here in agile, we may not have the title of business analyst, but we'll do business analysis activities. Okay. And here most of the times we take the role of a product owner or a customer representative. And okay, these activities can be distributed across the team, and the team will be doing their small part of it, or sometimes you alone will do it and the others will follow it. So it all depends on that. Okay. And then what are the outcomes? Outcomes means what we are do as a business, what business analysis work will be the outcome in a agile projects. Okay. So here, open communication and collaboration, that means everybody knows what is going to happen now and what we are actually working on as well. You'll be knowing it, and you'll be understanding the product vision and the direction aligned with the organization goals and business needs. And acceptance criteria and strategic criteria for project completions are defined. and product vision statement is well defined and understood. And here we are going to create a just in time documentation. That means what exactly is required in that particular moment of time, that we will be actually documenting it, that we will be actually taking it forward. So this will be understanding about the business analysis scope. Okay, and this is the business analysis outcomes. And next is, if you see here, what approaches we are going to take it. Okay, now here we can take a Scrum, we can use Scrum here, and then we have this feature driven development, or we can go with extreme programming, and then we have Kanban, and we have DAD, that is a disciplined agile delivery. Then we have evolutionary project management, we call it as EVO, and then we have crystal clear, then we have DSDM, then we have safe scaled agile framework, then we have safe. And techniques, if you want to understand, we can go with behavioral driven development, and then Kano analysis, then lightweight documentation. Okay, then Moscow prioritization personas, and planning workshops. Okay, and we have these real options, relative estimations, and purpose alignment model, like we have to see it, and retrospective meetings or retrospective story decomposition, story mapping, like where the stories can be used, and storyboarding, value stream mapping. Okay, and coming to the competencies, like underlying competencies, what is the impact of these underlying competencies, if you want to understand, then here we can go ahead with like uh, communication and collaboration. This is very, very important. Patience and tolerance, flexible and adaptable, ability to handle change, ability to recognize business value, and continuous improvements. These things will be taking care in the underlying competences. We have to actually take care of these sections. Okay, these competences will be taking care of it. And next, we have to understand what is the impact on these knowledge areas. Okay, each all knowledge area, what will be the impact of it. Number one, business analysis, planning, and monitoring. Now, business analysis, planning, and monitoring here, uh, in the traditional way, we plan the entire business analysis, and we come up with all the templates, prototypes, everything will plan it. But here it is not required. It is only thing for that particular sprint or for that particular development, so the short period we may do it, and that too we should be able to change it if at all there is a change. So we cannot stick to this particular planning and monitoring. This is the only thing which you are going to do. It's not in that case. We have to do it only for this particular sprint, and that as well we should be open to change it as per the change in requirements. Okay, and then it would be like illustration collaboration. Okay, now illustration collaboration, right from the beginning till the end, continuously it is going to happen, because every time we will take the requirements, we will talk with the client, and the client will give us the inputs about it, and he'll talks about what value it is going to deliver. Like, so it's a continuous thing right from the beginning till the end. Illustration collaboration will happen. Okay, and requirements lifecycle management. Okay, now requirements lifecycle management, here we need to understand that lifecycle management may be, we validate, we verify. Now all this follows a very short cycle here. That means within the sprint everything happens. Okay, and then we have this strategy analysis, like as is state and to be state, and how we are going to push it from the as is to the to be state. Here we are going to understand it. For that, okay, we will be understanding the product vision and create and modify the development roadmap, and we assess the risks here, and from that we will take it forward. Okay, and then requirements analysis and design definition. Okay, we have to do it in a rapid way, and just in time basis. Actually we do it in just in time basis. We will be doing this particular requirements analysis and design definitions. Okay, and here in this particular requirements for that particular sprint, please understand sprint is only like 2 weeks duration. Within that, what is exactly required and what inputs we are going to take as requirement, what output we are going to give it as a design part of it, we should be very, very clear about it, and how we are going to communicate that with the technical team, and how this work makes a value to the team and to the stakeholders. Here we are going to understand it. And then we have this solution evaluation. That means whatever you give it, they go with a like they go what user stories they have shared with you, and how that functionality is being achieved through this user stories. They'll understand it and they do a UAT part of it. After every sprint, they conduct one UAT, and based on that UAT, they will accept it back, and that and they'll integrate that sprint deliverable in their production. So here it is just for that particular sprint what exactly is there, that will map onto the what we say the product increment, and then we will see whether it is whether it is as per the expectations or not, and from there we'll observe it into the production. In that way we are going to make it up. Fine, got it, clear on this? So this is the approach of agile perspective. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about the remaining perspectives as well. So please go through this agile. In case if you know agile, it becomes easy for you to understand this impact. Okay, fine, got it. And tomorrow we'll discuss about